I wanted to make this video about not the Steam Visual Novel Fest actually, but I wanted to talk about the bookie games that are coming out. There's three cozy book-related games that I'm aware of that are coming out soon. They're Tiny Bookshop, Bookbound, and Little Library. So I wanted to talk about the pros and cons of each of them. So I've played the demos for all of them. I'll start with Tiny Bookshop. This one I'm so incredibly excited for. It's release date of 2025. That's kind of all we get right now. We don't know if it's like quarter 1 2025, if it's going to be like October. Um, Tiny Bookshop did Steam Next Fest, not this most recent season of like February, March 2025, but I believe they did October 2024. So they did the one before. So this is Tiny Bookshop. Um, this strikes a chord with me. This tickles my fancy just right. You can decorate, as you can see, so I'm just having the trailer running. The decorating is like fun, it's cute, and it's really casual and low key. Like, it's the kind of thing where you can't go wrong. You can't mess up. Like, it's really just for you, and you get to talk to people. My favorite part is the reader's advisory. That's what librarians call it when you do an interview with someone to find out what kinds of book they're or other resource that they're looking for. So librarians do reader's advisory with all kinds of resources, not just books. But of course, a bookstore is going to be mostly books, and yes, you can pet the dog. Um, I thought they did a really great job in this game with the Reader's Advisory. Just like gamifying it, making it a fun little game, but still having it and making it like pretty realistic. Like, this is the kinds of things bookshop employees and librarians do all the time. Also in Tiny Bookshop, you get to know the local journalist, and so you have like your ads in the paper, and you use ads in the paper to buy books, you know, like from the townspeople. Like someone is having a garage sale and they're selling books, and that's how you get them. So it's really community oriented, and it's like it's quite realistic for like, these tiny little local, um, grassroots shops. It's so charming, it's so fun, the gameplay loop is addicting, it's really just a sheer delight. So every little bit of Tiny Bookshop I loved. The demo does only have 3 days. Yeah, so the demo is still available. Um, it's 3 days. I don't think you can change location, or I haven't anyway. I think you can change location, I just never did. Um, yeah. So there's multiple locations, there's all these choices. So like it is like choices matter. It costs money to uproot and go to a new location. But like it's a cozy game, in the grand scheme of things, you can't like mess up badly. You learn, you have fun, you have a nice time. It's a delight. Um, Next one, let's talk about Bookband. Yes, all these are on my wish list. Um, so Bookband actually just came out like today. Yeah, so this came out at the time of recording today. Um, so yeah, it's on sale. So $7 is the price. It's doing the little opening day sale of 6.29. They still have the demo out. Here's the gameplay trailer. Um, this demo, it didn't scratch my itch the way that Tiny Bookshop did, and I thought it would because it looks so much like Tiny Bookshop. I was like, you decorate the store, you talk to the people, you get people in, you help them find books. Like it all sounds the same, but like the gameplay just felt so different. This one is really, um, I don't know. Like this isn't usually a genre I play, so I don't have a ton to compare it to. Tiny Bookshop tickled me just right and had a nice gameplay loop. I think the thing with Bookbound is that it was actually from the demo, and this was like a week ago, so you can assume it's similar to what they came out with. It was kind of missing some magic. It was like you end the day, and like that was it. Just the next day starts again. Like you don't go to sleep or anything. There's no sunset. Like those little magical moments. Like so the gameplay loop was too tight because there was no downtime. It was missing like that charm and that magic. So in the trailer and like these screenshots on the store, it is very cute. It's very twee. I actually had trouble decorating because there's no like snap to grid, or the grid is so fine that like I just had trouble getting my cases to line up just right. It wasn't working for me, and yeah. So you have genres and you have books. Apparently, you can write your own books in that one. So I think this is going to suit some people. This might be yeah, the book game just for you. Oh, yeah, and apparently you can go out in town a little bit, which was not in the demo, but that's a thing. Um, I think this is going to suit for some people. It didn't suit me. I wasn't into it. So I'm a lot less into Bookbound. I'm personally a little shocked that it like took everyone by storm so much. I was like, oh my god, Bookbound! Like, where did this come from? Like, this came out of nowhere, suddenly, and eclipsed Tiny Bookshop. But I think Tiny Bookshop will come back around. Again, no idea when its day is, but Bookbound is out now. Um, yeah, it's very much about it's more shopkeeping than book related, if that makes sense. So do Tiny Bookshop if you're into the books, do Bookbound if you're into the store, is I think the way to go here. So next one I want to show, Little Library. So it's in Maplewood. By the way, if you've read the book Tomorrow, 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 that should be like making. Oh my God, like yeah, if that's a reference to the book Tomorrow, 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 um, I don't even know what to think. Um, anyways, this is Little Library. Uh, this, so here's the thing, as a librarian, I really don't like this one. I bring it to your all's attention. Again, this might be the game just for someone, and yay, I want you to play a game that you love. Um, I really didn't like it. Walking around town was boring, and meeting all the NPCs was boring. And because it was so kind of paced, you just walk into someone's house, you have a little cutscene. Everyone's like, "Oh, wow, we should definitely have a library in this teeny tiny town of 10 people that all we have going for us is a spa and a giant grocery store and like all these other like an hospital and a police station." I'm like, what? Like, you have a spa, you have a resort, and like, yeah, we should have like a library. Like, what? And I didn't like it. There is reader's advisory, so there's helping people find books, but it's really, really basic. You don't actually like do any thinking. They just say like, "Oh, I'm looking for this book," and you're like, "Ah, it is over here." So it's really more wayfinding and direction giving. Um, and oh, in both Little Library and in Bookbound, you clean up trash. You pick up trash. And I'm like, yeah, honestly, it's true to the life of a librarian, and I'm sure bookshop employees as well. But I'm like, really? Like, I'm like, no, so much more. Like, librarians don't just check out books to people. Like, that's not just what we do. So, Little Library, like, the mechanics are very much you check out the books and you pick up the trash and you romance the townspeople. And I've also some issues with romancing the townspeople. I'm taking it too literally, I know. Um, but yeah, so I really didn't like Little Library. If this is the game for you, then I'm glad I told you about it and I want you to play it and be happy. But I really, this feels just like a cash grab. This really doesn't feel like they put too much thought into it. Like the music isn't great either. Um, Little Library in particular feels cash grabby. Bookbound feels like they needed a shop game and they're like, what hasn't been done yet? Books. I like books and we haven't really done books yet, so let's do a bookstore. And I'm like, cool. So it's not about the books, but it is about the store mechanic. Versus Tiny Bookshop. It is about the books. It is like a shop sim, but it's also it's about the books as much as the store and the vibes. So I like Tiny Bookshop the best. So let's take a look at that one again. So, Tiny Bookshop gets a big old 10 out of 10 from me based on what I played from the demo, and the whole vibe, like the whole vision seems more like unique and coherent versus especially like Little Library. It's just such a cash grab. It's just like I don't know if they made an RPG Maker, but it feels like, they just used free assets from RPG Maker and just cranked it out. It doesn't feel good. This Tiny Bookshop has all this charm, it has all this whimsy, it has all this magic. Bookbound, like from the demo, I would give it 6 out of 10. Um, I could see it being a pretty addicting gameplay loop, and some people who are really into decorating, like if you spend time on your Stardew farm, like going ham decorating, oh my god, you're gonna love Bookbound so much. But if you're more in it for like the people, the stories, the books, I don't think Bookbound like even has relationships or like meeting people. Um, so that's that. And Little Library is, man, I give it like a 1 out of 10. I'm being super harsh, I know, but I didn't like the music, I didn't like the characters, I didn't like that romancing is an option when you're the librarian. I didn't like how the library mechanics worked. I didn't like the town. I just didn't like anything about it. And so I just wanted to put that out there. Tiny Bookshop. I love Tiny Bookshop. I'm very excited for it. So that's my very long ramble. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna give that a little pause so I can do my outro. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.